Right now, orbiting quietly above you, that massive rock in the sky is acting as a planetary seatbelt. Imagine looking up at exactly midnight. There is no explosion, no sudden flash of light. The moon simply ceases to exist. Within minutes, news networks light up. Millions of people rush outside in a panic. But professional astronomers staring up through their telescopes remain dead silent. They know the absence of a catastrophic explosion offers zero comfort. Earth has just been untethered, and a quiet terminal crisis is already underway. Surprisingly, daylight brings a false sense of security. People brace for massive earthquakes and tsunamis, but the ground holds steady. Earth looks deceptive. The reality is hidden in the water. Looking at this model of the Earth and Moon, we can see how lunar gravity generates roughly 2/3 of our planet's tidal forces. The moment that pole disappears, the tides don't vanish entirely. The sun still exerts a pull, but they recede into a shallow, rhythmic ghost of their former selves. Ancient coastal ecosystems immediately shut down. Thousands of marine species rely on the daily reach of high tides to hunt and breed. Without that specific reach, they starve. Within days, marine food webs collapse, leaving global fishing fleets paralyzed in their harbors as the predictable waters they rely on disappear. The oceans have lost their primary driver. Without the deep churn of lunar tides to circulate nutrients, the seas enter a slow, quiet decline. By the second month, the true mechanical failure of the planet begins. Earth's physical rotation starts to destabilize. This graphic illustrates Earth's gravitational anchor in action. The moon's mass locks our planet into a stable axial tilt of exactly 23.5 degrees. Remove the moon and that anchor vanishes. While the most extreme shifts, tilts up to 85 degrees, would take ages to fully manifest, the initial, erratic wobble begins almost immediately. The climate responds to the shifting axis. At these unprecedented angles, Antarctica eventually points directly at the sun, melting millions of tons of ice straight into the sea. Meanwhile, the equator occasionally tilts away into freezing darkness. This loss of stability destroys global agriculture, as farmers can no longer rely on the predictable arrival of spring or winter. Losing that single gravitational tether is all it takes to turn a predictable biosphere into a chaotic, unlivable cycle. A year into this scenario, the nights settle into a pitch-black darkness humans have never recorded in our history. Moonlight is an evolutionary navigation system. Without it, nocturnal predators cannot hunt, and hatchling sea turtles trying to follow a reflection into the ocean are left stranded on the beaches. Massive flocks of migrating birds lose their bearing, scattering across the dark skies. The absolute dark triggers severe disruptions in human circadian rhythms, activating deep primal anxieties built directly into our biology. A single vanished object in the sky manages to simultaneously fracture the planetary food chain, the global climate, and human psychology. Yet the ultimate consequence relies on something happening right now. The moon is slowly drifting away from Earth, about 3.8 centimeters a year. This model maps out tidal friction. Billions of years ago, a much closer moon created immense drag on the oceans. That drag acted as a planetary brake, slowing a frantic 6-hour day into our modern 24-hour cycle. Without that lunar brake, the billion-year process of slowing Earth's rotation comes to a dead stop. Our 24-hour day is the result of that friction. Without it, the planet's rotational energy is no longer being reined in. That rapid rotation, no longer moderated by the moon, warps our atmospheric weather systems, generating hyper-violent, supersonic windstorms tearing across the surface. The moon acts as the regulator for Earth's rotation. Removing it alters the very length of a day on our planet and the severity of our storms. Some have floated ideas like massive space mirrors or giant artificial satellites to replace these effects, but no human technology could ever replicate the sheer, perfected gravitational mass required to stabilize a planet. Fortunately, modern physics guarantees the moon remains in a stable orbit. It isn't vanishing anytime soon. But running this scenario exposes the truth about our home. The moon engineered the stability of our oceans and our climate, creating the exact conditions required for complex life to evolve. The systems that protect us the most are often the exact things we take for granted. So if it did disappear tonight, what do you think humanity would notice first? The pitch black sky, the dying oceans, or the weather spiraling? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to explore more space mysteries and future tech, subscribe to Future Decoded.